trying. I'm just being honest with you guys. It's one thing. If it's one thing, it's like being honest, right? Like for me, I feel like I have to be this whole other different person. Like I can't be upset, and then when I do get upset, I'm told I'm baiting. I'm told I'm doing things for attention. Nobody really cares. My mental health is declining. Yeah, sure, I go to therapy every Wednesday, which I have to talk to the therapist about some new things, right? And then, everyone tells me it's going to be okay, but then I get back in that cycle and it's just like, I go somewhere, I remember something, then I go back into the cycle of being sad, and then it repeats itself, and I'm like, well, it's not going to get any better. Because when you remember, and it's not an obsessive thing, when you are reminded of something like, oh, they're not going to be in your life forever, for the rest of your life. No, you have to be without this person. That cycle repeats, and it's like, and you can't get out of it because you're just stuck. Like a hamster on a wheel, but except you can't get off. And it was just like today, I was reminded that it's going to be 1 year since the carjacking. And all I could think of was that moment when I was alone. And I watched him drive off with my mom, and there was nobody. And I was screaming for help. And it just kind of reminded me, sorry, there's something in my eye. It just kind of reminded me, like, that's what my life is going to be like, I have my mom, but, she isn't going to live forever. And then when that happens, who am I going to have, And I understand people, there are some people that are like, saying like, oh, I know they want to be friends and stuff, but my mind mentally prepares me for like, oh, they're gonna leave me too. They're gonna just go, and this has nothing to do with like being obsessed or anything. People have a right to be hurt over things that happened, right? I tell myself, maybe if you would have just shut up, this wouldn't have all happened, and then I'm blaming myself, and then I'm beating myself up, and it's just like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. It's just a lot. And it's not like, oh. It's just like one person. Yeah, but I don't really have any friends. I don't really make any friends because people leave, my other friend, right? She passed away on my birthday, and that's not the reason why I don't celebrate birthdays. I never really celebrated birthdays to begin with, except when I was younger. But then, it's just that reminder of like when things gets hard, she never was like she would get mad, right? And she wouldn't talk to me. Like, but then she would always come back and talk to me. It was never like, oh, I'm cutting you off. And I'm not talking badly about people. I'm not talking or saying anything because, I don't want to bring up situations over and over again. But I'm just saying, like, it's hard for my brain to process something because I'm always constantly going through trauma. I'm always constantly like in survival mode, you know? Like I'm always like trying to survival mode and like surviving and I know that people would be happy if I was gone. And I'm not saying it like that. You know what I mean? Terry Joe. I haven't even been live with Terry Joe in a long time. Like, I don't like when people say, like, oh, why don't you go talk to someone? Or, oh, maybe if you go hang out with friends, you'll feel better. I don't have friends. And that's what literally, like, kind of put me in that mindset. There's people here that have friends, right? And like I can't always hang out with one person. They hang out with their friends. And it's like sometimes I can't do that. I'm not gonna be like, hey, can I go with you and invite myself. And it's not even that. Like, I don't have nobody, and that's just like a realization that I came to. Like, it really sucks. Like, and it wasn't basing my happiness off of one person. When my brother died, I really didn't have anyone. Like, his friends were his friends, cool, whatever. I talk to them, but it's not like we're buddies or anything, right? And it's just like when I made like these few friends at the place that I was at, it it just it just took me away from like not thinking about my brother being dead and just being able to enjoy life. And when something gets ripped away from you, you can't enjoy life because that's your mindset, because you're depressed. And then on top of that, having someone say that, or having people say online that, oh, this is for attention, you're just, I've always had this depression, this major depression. I just now got diagnosed, and it's not an overnight thing. And to literally say, oh, you're just manipulating this person to come back, or no, like, I'm not gonna be okay. I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do? Just walk around and act like I want to live a normal life, like I want to go do things. I'm supposed to just fake being a person that I'm not. Like, I'm struggling. I'm literally doing good, and the next thing you know, there I am tumbling down the hill because I remember something. I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, I don't ever think I could go there again. It's just like one of those things where it's like, that sucks because now the joy of that is gone. I don't think I could, like, I don't think, you know, that literally, it just sucks. It literally just hurts. you know, it's just like Top Golf. I was like, I'm reminded of things at Top Golf, and I'm like, oh, well, can't go there anymore. Just like round one, or like, you know, like with my brother, it was different because, I had to learn to enjoy those things because, I had people to do those things with. But it's a different kind of thing when it's something different rather than my brother just passing away and like, yeah, I could easily go back. But it's just like, it comes to a point where, it's a whole other different type of thing that I'm dealing with that basically is the reason why I don't want to do anything. You know, it's a hard thing to process, and having to, you know, this song is good. It's just like, I'm reminded of something like, oh, like I said, Top Golf, or, you know, like round one, and to be honest with you, like the whole casino thing, I haven't been to the casino in a long time, a very long time. And it's just like, you know, that kind of discouraged me. And it's just like these things that I no longer want to do. Like, I was looking forward to concerts, and now it's just like, I don't want to do that. Like, and I know people say that you have to live your life and you have to keep going, but no, it is not. Like, I know people are going to say it'll get better, but no, it won't. It won't get better. And I'm just like trying. I'm trying so hard. But like I said, I go somewhere, I'm reminded of something. It's just like, And then I think of something like we drove by Green Jeans, and I thought of something, and there it was like back in that mindset, and the cycle repeated. I was doing good till I saw that. I'm like, you know, like I don't care what people think. If they think I'm baiting, if they think I'm doing things, okay, whatever you want to think. The internet is gonna think whatever, and I really truly don't care. I really am struggling. I've been struggling. Yes, maybe I might have depended my happiness on someone because at least I wasn't depressed, right? Or I wasn't upset or I wasn't sad. And, maybe I should have worked on that, but it sucks because now what am I going to do? Like, yes, I still struggle with stuff daily. I was still struggling with stuff. It wasn't just like, it just sucks. Just like the cycle repeats. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be doing good, and then I just, I just wanted to, I just wanted to just run away and just not say anything and just go. You know, because it's hard. Because people tell me, you're supposed to be okay. You know, and if something happens to you and you're not okay, oh, you're baiting, you're manipulating, you're this, and it's in the comment section of my posts. And then people putting piles of ashes as pictures, like if that's supposed to be like, oh, you're probably like I cannot make $4,000 to bury my brother, and I was trying to so hard, but it just sucks, like no one knows like what is really going on, like and I'm just really struggling. I see somewhere, and like I said, it's just all over again. And then, when people reminded me it was going to be almost a year, that didn't help. Because then I remembered, and like on the 11th, it's going to be a year. And the only thing well, I'm not crying now, obviously. The only thing that, no, I didn't get 3,100, and I was not getting two cars. Actually, they're paying me. This does not want to stay on. They're paying me $800. They're not paying me the full amount. They're only paying me in $800 increments. And that's not going to help considering the fact that I got bills. So when it goes down, I cannot save to bury my brother. I got to pay that storage. If I lose that storage, my mom's going to be devastated because it has my brother's stuff in it. But, it's just like today I was reminded it was going to be a year. And I just felt like I was in the car again. And I got out and I was screaming for help. And there was nobody. And I almost just got up and ran outside and started screaming for help because that's where my mind was. And then, it's just certain things that happen, my brain just tells me this is going to be your life. Like, when my mom dies, I don't really have anybody. And it wasn't even. I literally asked for a house, and I'm not even gonna. Well, I think I kind of said why a while back, but yeah, I wasn't thinking of myself when I was asking. There was a reason, but I'm not even gonna say it. It's okay. Sometimes, and it's just like one of those things, anyways. It's just like one of those things, and just like having that mindset of just like, this is your life, because, oh, and it was like the whole thing of being upset because I had messaged someone and they didn't respond, and this person had told me that they're older, and yeah, they said they had a heart condition. They were dying from a um heart disease or something. A heart condition. They're slowly dying from it, and they just had like a major heart attack not too long ago. I think last year, which I didn't know about, and they had left me this like message. They said like, you're strong for going through all of this, whatever. It was like last year, and so I like had messaged them to see how they were doing, and I didn't get a message. I messaged them like Saturday, and so for me, I'm trying not to think the worst case, but like they don't really have anyone that could reach out to somebody and be like, hey, I would hope someone would go into their contacts and say something. And I'm trying not to think like that, but it just really sucks. I'm just trying not to. Um, I did that. Nobody donated. They literally took the GoFundMe down. So then I didn't ask, and then I thought I would ask for the money to buy a house, which is what I did. But I got tired of making GoFundMes. The first GoFundMe I made, yes, I had originally asked for 4K. Nobody wanted to help. They reported it and got it taken down. So well, that was like the second one. The third one was for the house, but the second one was for the 4K, and that's what happened. I think of myself. You don't know if I think about myself or not. Angelica, like what? No, because they lied and said I was scamming people, and I hadn't even received any money. Nobody even donated. There was a few people that donated, and it was like a few, it was like a few people. How is it my problem? I didn't expect my brother to get murdered. Why are you blaming me like it's my fault, saying it's my problem my brother got murdered? That's like a very horrible thing to say to someone. Saying that it's my problem. I wasn't expecting him to die, so how's that my problem? Some of you guys really don't even know how to be kind on the internet. You just take advantage of the fact when someone's down, you love to kick people when they're down. People knows exactly what to say to someone to really hurt them, and they don't care. Cause you could say the absolute horrible, the worst to someone, and then lie on somebody and make up all these lies, and cause you know that people don't like someone, so when you say something, everyone's gonna side with you, and then you hurt people and you don't care. Because in the moment, I understand, like, some of you guys are angry, right? And I'm talking to the trolls. Some of you guys are angry and you do things out of anger, but at what cost? Like, when is enough gonna be enough, and people are gonna be like, okay, well, that's not okay. I get angry, but do I lie on people because I'm angry? No, I get upset. Like, I'm upset. Like, there's a whole situation. I'm upset. I could easily go online and just spew a bunch of hatred, and I'm not. Because I'm trying to be the person that doesn't get mad so easily and has patience and understanding. Like, I try to see things from the other side and be understanding, like, oh, like, you know, I understand why this person is angry, and I understand why things are going the way that they are, you know. Life sucks. It's scary. It's scary out there. It's dangerous. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. You know, I just hope people are safe. You know, but it's just like, you know, I just I don't know, like it's crippling. Like having major depression is crippling. No one knows what it's like cuz you know, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't get out of bed. Like I would be sleeping all day if I could choose to do so. Like my mindset is I don't want to go anywhere anymore. I don't want to leave my house. I just want to stay home. And you know, I can just like I have everything I can order, you know, I don't have to go nowhere. Nobody said I was the only one with depression. I hate when people do that. Like, you're not the only one with depression. That's not what I'm talking about. You have this wrong perception of depression, and you say, STFU, everyone has depression. You don't care about people with depression. I'm being 100% honest. You act like people with depression are supposed to get up and act like they're normal and not have crippling depression where they can't get up. You literally act like that. You don't even know anything about depression, but you try to act like you care about people with depression when you don't. Because if you actually cared about people, you wouldn't be ruining their mental health. You wanted me to have no friends and be isolated. That was you. And when it finally happens, then you celebrate. Like, what good is that to literally sit here and say you care about people when you literally don't care about anyone and their mental health? Nobody does. You want to sit here, and it bothers me that people will sit here and say, you know what, maybe we should have left this whole situation alone. Yeah, well, maybe you should have, but now it's too late, and you want to apologize in my comment section and be like, hey guys, you know, maybe we took it too far. Yeah, because now that I have nobody, you want to, like, when I ask people to be respectful, when I ask people to stop taking photos, when I ask people to stop doing things because the situation was dangerous in of itself, especially to me, because nobody cares about, like, me being put in danger. And because of this whole situation, I have to walk and, like, look and not make sure someone's watching me because they suspect something, or, you know, that I just, you know, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not afraid or anything. It just sucks. Like, when I walk outside, it's just me and myself. Like, I don't have anybody. And no one knows what that is like. Because everyone says I'm supposed to be this happy person. Like, you're not supposed to cry because everyone cries. Everyone has issues. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not listen to your issues because everybody has an issue. Everybody's going through something. You're not the only one. And it's just like I'm just told to shut up and just be okay. And it's literally annoying me that people are trying to tell me, oh, like, people say be yourself, and then when you are, then people tell you to shut up and don't be yourself. Just, you can't be upset because if you're too overly upset, oh, that's manipulating. If you're too sad, oh, that's baiting. Like, I literally talked about why I didn't go live, and I literally had to mention about somebody going to the emergency room because if I didn't, people would say, oh, look, she's baiting us by saying she's going to the emergency room. See, look what she did to herself. And that was not the case at all. Like, I shouldn't have to explain myself. Like, no one knows what it's like. No one knows anything. Because you think you know. I didn't threaten my life. I literally just said, I'm just gonna block you. I never threatened my life. That was last year. And the only reason why was because of people online too. I said it was partially. I never said it was fully. And this time, it's not me saying that. I'm literally having an issue with my depression and my mental health. It has nothing to do with that. And I'm not going to say that because I have to censor myself because of TikTok. No, I never said that. I never said that on the live. I never said that recently. I'm having mental health issues, which I really am. How do you expect someone to literally process something with depression? That doesn't make sense why you're telling me that I'm supposed to be okay. I am having this issue. When someone leaves my life, I'm not okay. My brother is gone. We did everything together. Like I said, I don't have friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't know how many times I have to explain this to people. They just want to take advantage of someone having issues. They just want to take advantage of that and kick people when they're down. Like, that's all the trolls do. They pick at the issue and they know that's what hurts someone and they continue. Like, I've constantly asked people, do not bring that up for my mental health personally, and everyone kept picking at it, kept making it worse. Something else happened, and then that affected me because it's like, what? Like, why couldn't people just stop? Yeah, they did say I have to be okay, and people did say that I was baiting, and people did say I was manipulating. So because of that, I couldn't be upset online. And when I did get upset, then I had to say, well, I apologize for being upset. And what I posted, I was emotional, which I really was hurt. But yes, people want me to be okay, and a non-functioning person, oh, you're just like your dad. You're having manic episodes. You're sick in the head. And people have commented that on TikTok because it's there in the comment sections saying you're acting just like your dad. I have never been diagnosed with bipolar. I'm not just like my dad. That's hurtful. To sit here and to be in the comment sections of my videos and tell me that I'm baiting, I'm manipulating, you don't know anything. And then say, oh, which I can't even bring that up because I'm not trying to bring up the situation, but I don't care what people think I did or what I didn't do. I didn't do anything that involves authorities. I don't know. I I I can't keep bringing it up because I don't want to mention it. My brother really did die, and then I have to. I don't know. It's just too much. It's just like people in the comment sections have no empathy for nobody. Posting pictures of piles of ashes, like if I'm supposed to be okay, and literally saying people said that I don't have to be okay. Yes, they do, because I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have friends to talk to. I've talked to everyone I could talk to, and I'm still in that cycle of not being okay. And to literally tell me, well, don't come to the internet and talk to people. Yes, that's how everyone acted. Nobody cares about my feelings. It's always everybody else's feelings, but F mine. I get upset over something. Oh, it's my fault that I'm upset over that. You have no right to be upset over that. God forbid. And then I get upset and then I'm hurt and my depression worsens. Oh, there she goes, trying to make the person feel bad so they could come back when I was literally hurt. Whatever. If I don't have people to talk to, so what? I just want to go away. And sometimes I know accidents happen, like freak accidents or car accidents happen all the time. Sometimes I'm like, well, if that happens and I get taken away, I'll be happy. Sometimes I shouldn't hope for things like that, but sometimes I hope for them. I know I shouldn't be like that, but that's where my mindset is. Like it's not like I'm trying to, I'm trying to censor for TikTok. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I would be 100% at peace. You know, it's hard. No one knows what it's like. No one knows exactly what I'm going through, and I have to sit here, not cry. I have to be okay. I have to change myself for people. You know, here's the thing, my page has been getting a lot of attraction on Instagram. And of course, I appreciate the attraction to my pages. Um, there's a lot of like girls and women and stuff that have been viewing my page. Fine, whatever. That's not the whole issue. And I'm not bashing people that do OF, but especially recently, especially recently, and like on Instagram, I've kind of felt like maybe if I started posting certain types of photos, maybe I would get more attention, and having to feel like I have to do that because I feel like, look, these people that do stuff like that have cool, interesting lives. They have someone that always wants them. They're not lonely. They're not left alone. They're not made to feel like, oh, 1 minute, and then the next minute you're down and you're depressed. Like, they have interesting lives. They don't have to worry about, in that department of like not finding somebody because they probably can in that line of work. Someone literally asked me, it's a girl that does OF, and she's been on my page before. She was like, OF when? And I was like, I'm not doing OF. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe if I did that, then people would like me more. Like, I did feel like I had to change myself. And that's why I did kind of wear makeup a lot, because I felt like people liked me more if I had makeup. And I was trying to like be like, well, no, you don't have to wear makeup all the time, but that's just sometimes how I feel. Like, I know makeup enhances beauty, but I just felt really insecure, and I didn't really say anything to anyone because I didn't, like, so I just kept it to myself. Even before this whole situation, I was struggling, to live up to these expectations. When I hear someone that I'm around make comments about somebody on Instagram online, and just feeling like, maybe if I was them, they would love me, or if I look like them, you know maybe it's because I'm too fat, or I just I just that's just where my brain is literally at. you know my brain was like that because of the like certain things I was hearing and seeing people. And how the pages on Instagram, some of these pages, like, I was very, very insecure about myself, and a lot of the time, I felt like I had to live up to the expectation of like being like this person. And I do want to get back into the gym and work out for myself, but when I was going to the gym, I'm not gonna lie, I was working out because it wasn't for myself. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I thought, oh well, this person likes me, and not like, what I mean, but like, I don't have to lose weight. But then it got to a point where, certain comments and certain things just like affected me, and I became insecure, and then I was like, well, look at her, look at this person compared to me. Like, I can't compete with that. Like, hello, I'm just a fat slob, and that's what I would just tell myself because, you know, that's just how what I'm used to. You know, like I see the comments that these people leave, and it's just like that's just really how I felt. I was insecure because, yeah, I felt like I had to change myself, but I didn't say anything because, I just kept it to myself. I'm the one who felt like that. I'm the one who thought people, and I know people didn't want me to change, but that's just how I felt. If I didn't have this social media, then maybe, if I would have gotten rid of it sooner, this stuff wouldn't have happened. And I'm not talking about with my brother, I'm talking about recent things that it's not 100% my um, fault, but in a sense, it's just like I felt like I had to change. I felt like I didn't have to have social media. When someone told me, oh, I can't hang out with you because people take pictures all the time on your social media, I was like, well, if people can't hang out with me, I'll just get rid of my social media. Like, I'll just do what's necessary because, like, that's where, thank you for the gift points. That's what was just going on. Like, I constantly felt like I had to change myself and be this person. Like, oh, let me just start like doing these things, like not really full on just showing myself, but just like, oh, if I made these certain types of photos, maybe you know, I just that's my honesty, and that's just everything. It's just the way the internet makes you feel when you see all these things and you see all these people, and you just say, oh wow, they have a great life, and you know like don't I just don't want to literally be in my body. I don't want to be myself anymore because it's like it was like that whole saying or that thing that I reposted from Jim Carrey saying, like, depression is your body just telling yourself you don't want to be this character anymore. Like, I don't want to be my character anymore because I'm losing people. Nobody wants to be in my life. I don't feel good, you know? Like, I don't feel good. And, I struggled. I wasn't going to the gym for myself. I was going to the gym because I thought maybe, you know, it wasn't, you know, and then it's just like it was a lot, and I felt like I had to change. And when I had met someone, right, like, well, made friends with, and then my social media started to become a problem. It wasn't at first, but it became a problem. I was like, I don't want it anymore if that's going to be the case. Because, I was like, well, I cannot just not have this person in my life and have social media. It's one or the other. And, it's a process of having to deal with, like, and it's not trying to get attention to get a certain person to be with me. That, like, I don't even know where that came from. That is so wild. It's just wanting to not be like that person, because obviously I will never be like that person. Me compared to them, oof, no way, shape, or form. Like, I, I don't even compare. It's comparing myself to people, and a sense of like, oh, I wish I had their body, or I wish I looked like that, because then, and the insecurities just ate me alive. And don't even ask what. I'm not even gonna explain that part. Um, uh, yeah, anyways. Anything that I do is not for the attention of somebody, okay? It's just because I felt insecure and I was comparing myself to people. And I don't look at people's stuff. I don't go to people's social medias. I don't look at anything like that because then it only just makes me more depressed that I don't look like that, that I can't be, and I just, and it really hurts. I see all these women on social media that are really beautiful, and it's like, I'll never look like that. And it makes me really insecure, and I get back into that space. And when you're not working out for yourself, then it's really not going to work. I'm just exhausted. I'm in the wrong headspace. I thought maybe if I lost weight, then that would make people like me more. And I just kept it to myself. I didn't say anything. You know, yeah, I would post online. They would see it. They would say something. And then I would get something would happen like now. And I'm back in that mindset like, oh, well, did they even really mean it? Or were they just saying things just to say things? Because it affects me, and then I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe in anything. Like, when something happens and I get hurt and get disappointed again, I'm back in that space of like, oh, you know what, I'll just die alone because I ain't gonna find anyone. Like, I don't believe love exists anymore, and it's just like that whole thing. And just it's just a lot. Like, it's a lot of expectations that I have to live up to, because if I don't live up to it, I have to watch what I say. I have to be careful. I say the wrong thing, you're out of my life. And it's just like having to not go back into that cycle again. And just being like, like not feeling like, I never want anyone to feel like I hurt them or tried to harm them. I just want to make sure people are safe and okay. And as long as I know someone's okay, that's good enough for me. But like, all of this just weighs on me, and it's just everything. It's just the insecurities. It's just not feeling like I was good enough. And what did I do wrong? And just understanding like, why did this happen to me? Like, why is all of this happening to me? Like, and just being like, I'm a very opinionated person, and I do talk and I do say stuff, and I'm tired of being afraid and being told shut up and you can't say anything. You say something and it pisses someone off, and then here we are in this thing, and it's like I had like, and it's just like me not really wanting to say how I'm really feeling, because if I say, oh, you know, I have every right to be upset, and it's like I'm being told that my feelings don't matter and that me being upset is not an issue. I don't want to say like, oh, they're telling me I had no right to be upset over that. I'm supposed to be okay. Like, I'm supposed to be okay with certain things. And I don't, like I said, I don't like coming to the internet and saying anything personal. And that night when I said something, I wasn't trying to make it a whole personal thing. I even literally said, for example, and it was kind of like the example was literally a situation which I wasn't trying to bring up the situation and like try to say, oh well, it's an example. Even though I was like, I didn't want people to think I was making an excuse, saying it was an example when it wasn't, and it was really what was going on. But I really didn't know. It's just a lot of like wanting to get an actual opinion without people just telling me get offline and get a job. you know, and just being told that my feelings don't matter by trolls online and by people saying, like, oh, well, F your feelings, who cares if you're upset? You're supposed to be okay because you're being told one thing, you're being told another, you're being told all these different things, and you're trying to process, well, this was said, and then this whole other different thing is said, and now this, and it's just like, and it's, okay, not excuses. I'm trying to think of the word, and I can't contradictory of what I'm hearing because it's always something different. It's always a different excuse, a different reason, you know, like, and I'm trying to process and understand why these things happen and being like, well, why am I made to feel like my feelings are not valid? And what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go from here? Because, I did. I felt insecure. I felt like I couldn't live up to an expectation. And it's also partially why I keep beating myself up now is because I don't live up to the expectation of being like that person that they want, in a sense of like, like that other person, because I was comparing myself to that other person because, I mean, hello, like, and it just literally just was beating myself up, and you know, just I don't even know. It's just a lot. And I know I keep repeating myself, but that's just how I really felt. I was like stuck in the cycle. My mom is not suffering and lonely. I talk to her every day. Hello. Like, I talk to her literally every day. I'm lonely. I have people around me, but I'm lonely. Like, you always love to bring up my mom in a situation that has nothing to do with my mom. Well, if nobody gives a F, then they should just leave the live if they don't want to hear it. Nobody's forcing you to be here. Obviously, you give a F because you're here. If you didn't, then you wouldn't be here. Yes, I already addressed that. I already called them and yelled at them for that. And told them, why are they treating my mom like that? Why should I have to explain everything that I do? If I didn't care about her, I wouldn't have called the shelter to complain. And I wouldn't be complaining about my housing if I didn't care about her. To literally say that I was focusing on the wrong things, no, I was doing the best that I can. And here's the thing, it's like people telling me that I need to change. Again, it all goes back to that, like saying I'm not doing enough. Or I need to do more. Or, like I'm so sick and tired of trying to be this person that I wasn't. Yes, I was myself around people, but in the same instance, in the back of my head, I kept telling myself, I'll never be like this person. Anytime this person does something, it's like, oh, they don't immediately cut them off, and I'm like, for me, I just get cut off like I'm trash, like I'm garbage, like I'm nothing. It's hurtful, and I'm not supposed to get over it. That's not how it works. You don't just, if someone hurts you, you don't just say, get over it. Move on. Especially not hearing nothing. And again, I don't care. Like people say, they don't have to message you if they don't want. Okay, fine. That was not the whole point, and I was literally upset. And I posted stuff when I was upset. God forbid. Like, seriously, you want me to be this person that I'm not. You want me to live up to this expectation. I'm not, and I'm talking to the trolls. And then I literally, people crop things, try to take things and twist it so it could get more worse because y'all love drama. You live off drama, you feed off drama, you thrive off drama. That's your whole world. Nobody really cares about my feelings. Nobody really cares about me. Well, I do have to worry about friendships because when you have friends and there are things going on that I'm not really going to explain because it's personal, I wanted to make sure that person was okay. Because I'm that type of friend. Yes, I should have took care of myself first, but the thing is that I would never try to hurt or harm anyone. And there were things that people just don't understand. And, it wasn't the point of, like, just wanting to goof off or, not take things seriously. Like my brother, he would always try to, like, make his friends, he would make jokes, or he would try to, like, make his friends laugh when they were doing things. That's why I said, hey, do you want to go here? Or do you want to go there? Or do you want to go out? Because, we didn't have to think about the issues. And I didn't want people to just completely forget their issues. We can have a good time and not have to dwell on the problems that were going on. I had problems too. And I still went out, and I did things. And I made sure other people enjoyed and had a nice time and that they were able to enjoy themselves. It wasn't about becoming rich and having all this money so I could be someone rich. It was so that way, if, I could tell my friend, hey, let's go take a trip somewhere and, we don't gotta worry about money, It was like, hey, let's go. You're having a bad time? Well, let's go somewhere. Let's go do something. That's the way life should be. It should not be stressful. It should not be the way that this world is, right? Like, it should not be stressful. It should not be people having to worry about safety. Like, it's just so much going on that, and especially with World War III, that doesn't help. And I'm that type of person. And if people are telling me that I'm creepy, so what? I'm not creepy. I'm just the type of friend that worries and cares and makes sure someone's okay. And I don't get that call that's like, well, so-and-so passed away, and then I never got to talk to them again. Like, it hurts just knowing when people leave your life because, you'll never know if something happens and then the last time you hear anything is someone calling you, telling you they passed away, and then how do you process that? Oh, well, this person hated me so much that, they left my life and they were so mad at me when they left, and I hope that they, because, it's the whole religious thing of, like, God wants people to forgive, and, oh, they'll never forgive me again. Just, like, trying to not hurt myself and be like, well, if I made that person feel that way, then that means I shouldn't, well, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But, it's just, I don't know, I'm trying to process. And it's too much. And I'm tired and exhausted too. But no one said that I wanted anyone to feel bad for me. Like, and you have your profile picture is Nicki Minaj. Like, go away. Please, go away. So what if I'm a 32-year-old baby? I have a right to cry about being upset about things and wanting people to be okay. You know what's one thing is I will never get mad in this situation. You want to know why I will never get mad at that person? Because I have patience, because I have kindness, and because I know they're going through something, that would not pile on more issues to their problems. And I try to live my life the best as I can. Right when I go somewhere, once I leave the place, I'll share and document. I don't go anywhere. I don't follow people around. I don't need to go show up somewhere, and just be like, why this, why that. No, I'll just keep to myself in my own world and just, do things and try to get back into society normally, but it's hard. It's hard to do those things, right? I'm always wondering if someone's gonna say, were you here? Why were you? And then it's like, no, I was here. I was home. I was, you know, the thing about my mom that was frustrating was because I got annoyed that people were abusing the landline phone because they got my home phone number and they were calling. And because my dad was running a business and he had clients calling, my mom said, we have to answer. What if it's a client? And I said, clients do not call late at night. That's what bothered me. They don't call at night, they're going to sleep. So to say that you have to answer so these people could continue to keep calling, it was annoying because it's like they're abusing the phone, which we could have reported for tele-abuse. Yes, my dad was, I don't know, my dad had people calling anyways, clients, and because of that, they didn't know if it was a client, and I told her clients wouldn't call at night, but she insisted, and because she insisted, she said that she had to keep answering because she said, well, we have to answer. What if it's a client? Well, whatever. I'm getting blocked. I didn't joke about cancer, and if you knew why I said it, well, you know why I said it. I've already explained that. I don't have to explain it again. Like, wait, you gonna say something else? That's what literally bothered me. I don't say that. I got mad and screamed because I was frustrated. People was calling because they knew my mom was going to answer, and because she went, first of all, she said on live that she was going to answer because it might be clients. That's literally what bothered me. Was it's like, you don't tell people online that you got to answer because it's clients, because then that's going to entice people to call because they know you're going to answer. There's some things you just can't do or say, well, online, that she was doing or saying while she was online. And that's what literally bothered me. That's kind of weird comment, but okay. I was frustrated. I literally, I literally did not scream at her. I literally told her politely, and then because she refused, and it was not because she refused, she didn't want to listen. She was being stubborn. Yes, I did scream and get mad. Who cares? Okay? I'm so sick and tired of people acting like it's okay for my parents to treat me some kind of way. It doesn't matter how old someone is. They should not treat you any type of way. Just say, oh, well, you can't do that because they're elderly. Okay. Well, when your mom treats you with disrespect and you scream at her, then I'm going to say you have no right because she's old. Old or not does not mean anything. Like, you're allowing these little kids to play on your phone. You're literally on live telling people while I'm live that you must answer the phone because he has clients calling so they can keep calling because they have no respect whatsoever. And then she's over there screaming. And it wasn't even that. She was screaming, she was yelling, and she was saying stuff. And I'm like, Mom, you can't be saying that to those people over the phone. Just hang up. You don't need to be arguing back with them while I'm on live. Because They're hearing that and they're getting a kick out of that, and then they're doing it more and more and more. That's why they sent people from dating apps to my door, because they knew they could. Well, my mom called me a stupid, so that's not the only thing she's called me. And I didn't even do anything. I just got upset and frustrated. And she said, well, I shouldn't have said that to you because you didn't do anything for me to say that to you. And she did say that on her live. She said that she called me that. And if you knew the whole situation, then you would understand. But obviously, you don't know the situation. You don't know anything that's going on. You just think you know. I don't just get mad or yell at my mom for no reason. There is a reason. Like, I was frustrated. There was whole reasons. My dad didn't love me. Well, I had loving parents, I'm going to be truthfully honest. But if my dad really cared about me, then he would have got better instead of not getting off his medication again. Here he is now on his medication. We would have had a place had he would have taken better care of himself. There was nothing more I could do to literally say, oh, and this is another thing. People posted where my mom said that she was his caregiver, but that does not mean she went with the doctor's orders of where to dose him at for his medication. We do not administer his medication because it's a shot. He has to go get the shot either from the doctor or the doctor comes to the house to give him a shot. That is it. That is all. To try to be like, well, look, she said here that Marie said here that she was his caregiver, and look at what happened to him. He was over medicated, and the doctor suggested to wait till the medication wears down, because if they would have gave him more medication, he could have OD'd over that medication. The cat did not come out of a shelter. I don't know where the cat came from. Yeah, it might have came fresh out the shelter, but that was not my cat. That was, what's her name's cat? I don't know why you keep bringing that up. We're not even talking about a cat. I'm not lying. I saw the post on Reddit. Reddit has been nothing but causing me problems and ruining my life. And then they sit here and act like they're, they're speaking facts. Oh, look, she's talking about her friend. Let's clip this. And I wasn't even talking badly about anyone. You just love to, because you know people are watching, that you take advantage. You really take advantage. I didn't mess with his meds. That's crazy. Then get off Reddit. I'm not on Reddit. I went to go see what the heck Reddit said, why this whole thing started. I don't know if they saw my live stream or they saw something from Reddit, because I told that person, I said, do not go to the Reddit, because she would always come to me. She would be like, well, the Reddit said this, 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 and why are they saying that? Who are they talking about? They literally tried to say something about clout chasing. I never said my friend. Nowhere did I say my friend was clout chasing or doing anything for views. I don't know why people keep insinuating that. I never said anything or insinuated that my friend was doing anything for views or for clout. I don't know. I got asked why they were saying something about clout, and I was like, huh? I was so confused. I was so confused because it's just like, what? Like, when did I say who cares? Well, I care because I'm tired of having people come to me because of something somebody said on Reddit. Like, I literally told that person, don't listen to them. The Reddit just is gonna say whatever. That's why I don't go there. That's why I don't even look at the Reddit. But then, like, she was asking me, what did I say on my live stream about clout chasing and views? And I was like, what? I never said it. any of that. And when I'm talking about clout chasing and views, it's not someone in person that I know. And I always clarify that. To literally be cropping things and make it seem like I'm talking about people is crazy. Nobody in my real life has done anything for views or for clout chasing. I know they don't care about social media. I know they're not on social media like that. I know that they're not about the views or anything. I'm not about the views either. I just post something and then I get offline. I don't care if it hits 1,000,000 views. I don't care how many views it hits. I really don't care about views, especially on my live streams, especially anything. I really don't care about that. But it's so crazy to try to stir up drama where there isn't any. Like, that's why the Reddit keeps getting banned. No, I didn't. And then having to constantly address that and be like, no, I didn't say anything. I have literally said this time and time again. I will never talk about you badly online. If I know you in person and you're my friend, I will not go online and talk about you. That night that I went on live, I was upset. And yes, I probably should have not went on live if I was upset, but I don't really have people to talk to, and I was bottling it up because there were just some things that not a lot of people know that I couldn't share with people because it's personal. Now the internet knows that. But, and especially people that I knew personally, some of them didn't know that, and I couldn't express to them that because I felt like I was going to be judged, like I was going to be hated. And should I have not? I was just upset, and like it hurts being told that like my feelings don't matter and I'm not supposed to be upset. I'm supposed to be okay because the internet says so. Take accountability for what? I didn't even do anything. Yes, I went on live and said something. Yes, I did, and it wasn't even rude. I did not say anything rude about that person. I did not. Nothing. I just expressed my feelings and why I was upset. Why is it my fault that I'm upset? And I'm not talking about people. I'm not talking about the situation. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm just saying, like, I was upset at that time about how I feel, and I know what message was sent. I know that, but it's contradictory of certain things, and I just don't want to get into it because it's a bunch of different things being told, and I'm just trying to process all of it. I'm not dumb. Like, trolls on the internet think I'm stupid because I have a learning disability. And some people probably do think I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid. And then I heard some other recent things that I'm like, wow. So are my feelings not valid or are they valid? Because, like, it's just like, I don't know what to think anymore. And it's just like this whole process. And I don't come on here to talk about my personal issues when it pertains to my friends because I don't talk about my friends online. And I keep saying that, but people will take clips like right now and they'll be cropping it, posting it on Reddit, and then here I am getting an angry message or getting getting that person saying like, coming at me because of something the Reddit said. Like I'm like tired of it. When I say I'm not talking about people in real life, I always have to reiterate that because then it comes back to me like, were you talking about me on live? No. Like one time I was talking about my other friend that was verified on TikTok and they thought I was talking about them. And it's just like, no, I was not. I would not say anything like that. If I felt that way, I will message you. Like, here's the thing. If you have someone's number and you're friends with them, you can just message them if you have an issue. I will not go online. I'll message you if I have an issue. That's it. That's all. Like, people just love to cause drama and, like, take things out of context so they can celebrate. My problems. you're right. You say you talk about your problems all the time. Yes, my problems. I don't talk about my friends online. I don't talk about their problems. I don't talk about anything. The only reason why, and this is why I'm going to say it, the only reason why I said there was a dangerous situation going on with my friend is because I asked people to not take pictures and to stop following people and to leave people alone. That's why I even said anything, because I cannot sit here as a person and have this platform and my friends telling me, well, people are trying to take pictures of me, people are this, people are that. And I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let that fly. So I'm gonna speak up and say something. And I said, look, there's something going on and it's putting their family in danger. You have to stop doing stuff like that. Nobody listened. They continued to do what they want because they wanted to. This one girl, and I mentioned this story. We were playing pool and she showed up drunk. Kept insisting that my friend take a picture with her and I said no. Like stop. And I didn't even say stop. I was like, no, let's just take a picture. And she just kept insisting. If someone says no, they do not want to be in a picture, respect it. Like I can't even hang out with someone and then there's somebody secretly taking a picture and then you're getting yelled at and being told to delete the photo because they're in the photo. And what hurt me is the fact that they were being so respectful to the point where they were telling me that I don't want to offend you or your fans, but sometimes I want to punch them and I'm like, well, just punch them. Those are not my fans and I had to, and that was not right of her to have to be so respectful to literally be like, well, I don't want to offend you. You're not offending me. You was never offending me. Like, if someone is doing stuff to you, those are not my fans. I will never put anyone in danger. I I will not contribute to any of that. Like I said, no amount of money, no nothing will ever make me do that to someone I really truly care about. And to be honest, I will never stop caring about that person or people because that's who I am. I'm just not, when someone cuts me off, oh well. I'm not gonna sit here, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh well, they cut me off. That's it. That's all. Yeah, I probably have to continue my life, like obviously, but I'm still always gonna worry and hope they're okay. Like I never want to be responsible for putting people in danger. And when I saw that, it just hurt me because it's like, wow, if my um TikTok contributed to that, which I shouldn't blame myself for that because it's people that was harassing me. And if they were harassing her, then those are not my supporters. Those are not my fans. And it bothers me. And it literally eats me up inside because, like, I never wanted someone to feel like that. Like, oh, I'm putting their family in danger. Because now here's this whole situation. And now I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go. I gotta take myself out because that sucks. I don't know how to process this. That's just where my brain goes because of my depression and trying to manage that. And it really hurts, like when you're accused of something that you don't do. Like places, but I don't really go out. I hadn't really been going out much. And it's like, what? Like, what's going on? And then finding out things were happening. And I'm not saying like I didn't know at a gas station and people trying to take pictures. And then, like, how do I explain that? Like, how do I tell people to stop? And they don't stop and they keep going. And they don't listen. You know? Nobody wants to listen. I like this song. Of course, obviously. You know, that's the thing that just kind of bothers me is that people tell me that I'm not supposed to care. And I don't care if you call me creepy, weird, or obsessive. I don't stalk people's social media. I don't go to their social media and see what they're posting. I don't do any of that. If if they're not talking to me all well, I don't go to their page and say and be like, let me see what's going on. Like it's not like that. I still am gonna have in the back of my mind like are they okay? You know, because that's just me. I'm not gonna put people in danger. I will never do that. I I you know, it was just a lot to process cuz it was being like multiple people were being talked about at once and not understanding things and then just some other things and anyways, you know. But that's just me. I will always care about people even if they're mad at me, even if they are not in my life, gonna be in my life anymore. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna talk about people. I'm not gonna go say, well, you know, here's my chance to bash somebody. Like, no, I will never do that. I didn't put my family in danger. You're not listening. And I think that you're having a hard time because you're selective listening. What does gun violence have to do with putting someone in danger? You do know that crime was high in Albuquerque, right? You do know that my family was in a carjacking. That had nothing to do with me and my social media. And I did say that I think it might have stemmed from social media because someone said something. But to be honest, if he took the car, what does that tell you? It could have happened at a Walmart. It could have happened anywhere. Even if we had a place, he could have been carjacked when we had a place. It doesn't matter. Having a place does not prevent you from being carjacked. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. To literally blame someone for a crime that was not theirs instead of saying that the person that passed away, it's their fault. Obviously, that's why they're no longer here. And I'm not trying to be rude, but the reason why he's not here is because of his actions. He still would have been alive had he not jacked that car, right? And we're sitting here literally praising a man who did that and saying that I need to take accountability for him choosing to take a car that was not his. He didn't even pay for it. So if I go out there and steal, I have a right to blame you. Is that what you're saying? I don't have to take accountability? Like, that's crazy to literally be telling someone it's their fault. I am gonna tell them thank you because people think that carjackings don't happen to people that have houses. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. My friend's sister's truck got stolen when they went to casino right out front of their house. And they had cameras. And they never found their truck, by the way. And that was a friend that died on my birthday. And they had a place and they were carjacked. People literally get unalived all the time in their houses because of burglaries. So you're saying if I have a house, then I don't have other potential risks like being burglarized or having people break into the house? Like, hello? I didn't abuse anybody. I didn't emotionally abuse nobody. I really felt like that because of social media and partially because of that message. That had nothing to do with anything. They even knew I had not mental illness. They knew that I had major depression because she even told me, she was like, yeah, we could tell. Oh, well, obviously, I had issues. And I'm not even going to mention one of the messages I received, which literally had nothing to do with emotionally abusing someone. And yeah, I'm not gonna even mention that. Which I don't know if it was. I was kind of confused by it. I was like, what? But then I thought maybe because they were saying that because of my major depression. But yeah. I just don't want to talk about it. Like, you keep trying to bring up stuff to, like, talk about the whole situation again after I asked not to. And it's late and I gotta go to bed soon. Like, I'm tired. But yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But yeah, it's already 1. I need to get off and throw my trash and go to sleep. But anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. I will see you guys later. Thank you for liking, commenting, gifting, and joining the fan club. You know, it's just gonna be a lot of days like that, and you know, I am gonna be upset. I can't help if I get upset on live streams. What am I supposed to do with my life? You know, it's a lot. So, anyways, I'm gonna go get some sleep. Have a good day or night where you guys are, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Stay safe.